Hi, folks. Zach Osterman here. I'm Insider Indianapolis Star. I guess a bit of an emergency Insider video. Sorry if you hear Dora the Explorer playing behind me. I'm doing this in my kitchen, or in my dining room, rather. Luke Goode commits to Indiana. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone. Certainly, from kind of the moment Goode hit the portal, given his family connections to Indiana, given obviously he's from Indiana, given Indiana's obvious need for a player like him, a knockdown shooter, a bit of a guard wing tweener that can kind of play multiple spots for you. An underrated rebounder, I think, personally, particularly kind of in a more confined role. From the moment Goode hit the portal, there was really a feeling that this was likely, that it would take something fairly dramatic for it to be anybody other than Indiana. And about 5 o'clock this afternoon, I'm recording just after 5:15. I think he posted on Instagram right around 5 that he had committed. So he took a visit yesterday and today. It actually, most of it took place today. A little bit of it took place. I think we're about to have a visitor here. Forgive me. A little bit of it took place on. Like started last night. This is Eamon. Say hello, Eamon. We'll keep this short because obviously there are other things kind of running around in the background. Goode is a lot of what Indiana needed as a sort of, again, positionally. He's never shot under 37% from behind the three-point line in the season. Actually, the seasons where he's done a little bit more volume, he's shot the ball better. I think he was a 38.8% three-point shooter last season, and that number was pretty consistent, throughout. Wasn't much lower in Big Ten players. Actually, slightly better against what Ken Pom classifies as Tier A opponents, so the best teams that Illinois played. Indiana has added creativity. It's added guard depth. Obviously, bringing in Oumar Ballo gives it that sort of front court punch that Mike Woodson really likes in his fives. But you went down? Okay, and he's off again. This Friday afternoon. This is a behind the scenes look. But one of the things that Indiana really needed was a catch and shoot player, and you've got some guys like Mackenzie Mbako, like potentially Kanan Carlisle, even someone like Trey Galloway, who I think can improve their percentages and their averages from 3-point range. And they were back. But you wanted somebody who had that established sort of history. That is the first line in Luke Goode's resume. To bring him in, whether he starts, whether he comes off the bench, he's going to have a pretty consistent role. He's obviously Big Ten proven and Big Ten experienced, and that's very important. And you're just sort of, it ticks multiple boxes while providing you with a lot of reliability and a lot of, I guess the term would probably be, just sort of consistency. You can have a real confidence in what Luke Goode is and what he'll bring kind of night in, night out. So it's a big ad for Indiana. Fourth portal ad, Miles Rice, Kanan Carlisle, Oumar Ballo, the other three. So far this spring for Mike Woodson. This one obviously one that for IU fans who've wanted to see some improved three-point shooting this season. It's been, this is the sort of commitment that I think will make a lot of those people feel a little bit more assured, rest a little bit more assured. The other thing I would say, too, is, Indiana's not full scholarship-wise. They still have 2 left. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if things slow down just a little bit. And I think probably more what you're going to see is, not that rapid fire sort of string of visitors that kind of came in for 12 or 14 days, but maybe Indiana being a little bit more targeted. They don't have to, they can be a little bit more selective. The flip side is they don't have as much of a role to offer, as many minutes to offer, so they're going to have to find guys that are comfortable maybe coming in and being a little bit deeper down the bench and whatever else. But they can they can also be a little bit more selective because they filled a lot of their major needs. And I'll have something early next week, just kind of looking at what Indiana's added, the construction of Indiana's roster and kind of where things are moving from a structural standpoint, some thoughts on rotations and what things might look like. Obviously, this is all still on paper until Mike Woodson gets his whole team together in Bloomington over the summer. But I think there's a lot to like about the work Indiana's done in the portal so far. I think they've kind of across the board been pretty consistent in the top 20 or so, in the early top 25 polls I've seen, or top 25, power ranking type lists I've seen, ESPN, CBS, etc. And, Luke Goode's arrival is not going to do anything to sort of slow that down. So we'll leave that there for now. I think we have other matters arising at the Osterman household, forgive me. But one more time, Luke Goode commits to Indiana. Hoosiers have 11 scholarship players now for the 24-25 season. 2 spots left open. We'll see where they go. For the Indianapolis Star, I'm Zach Osterman. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon.